Flipping heck, look at that. Disastrous. Hey guys, so this is Sunday afternoon and I'm away travelling with work all week, and I've got the painter coming in to do the stone chip and some sealing on Friday evening. So I have to do as much as I can to prepare the workshop for the painting. So covered everything up. Gonna move the Land Rover out. I'm gonna cover up those bikes over there. And at the moment I'm just making up a template for the engine bay so the spray doesn't come up inside the car. And then I've got to do the rest of the car, so tons of work. Okay, morning guys. So back up at the garage today after spending, I don't know, an hour or 2 hours with the painter last night. He was putting on the stone chip. It was looking really good. It was starting to look good, but at some point he stopped working and he said, "Oh look, you have to have a look at this. The stone chip is pulling the seam sealant away from the body. So what I have here is etch primer, seam sealant, and then I have the stone chip on top, and in loads of places it just all started to pull away. This has started to happen. So the thin, what it seems to be is the thinner parts, the really thin parts where he smeared the seam sealant in, is pulling away from the body. Look, you can see up here. Oh, take that off, cover. Everywhere else it seems fine, you know, just directly onto the etch primer it's fine, but wherever there's, oh, you can't see, the lighting's terrible in here, but wherever there is seam sealant, it seems to have an issue. All along here, it's pulled all of this away, like you can see that. Look at that. Oh man, I mean that is flipping heck, look at that. Disastrous. So it's one step forward and it feels like 3 steps back with this car. The seam sealant is just not taking to this this covering. So I don't know. He said he'd sleep on it and have a think, see what the problem might be. But obviously he's done the whole thing, and then that is the issue. So it's everywhere. It's literally everywhere. Look, all the way along there, all the way here. It's just, I mean, that's the, on the top is the stone chip and on the bottom is the seam sealant, and it's just coming away from that etch primer. So who knows, maybe the etch primer was the bad idea, maybe the seam sealant needs to go directly onto the metal. I really don't know, but that's why you get a professional involved, because he does know. So we shall see what he comes up with today, but I'm getting quite anxious, you know, because it's taken so long to get this far and it's been so much work that I'm just concerned that we're going to have to start all over again. And oh god, I just can't. Well, I mean, I was going to say I can't be bothered. I'll have to be bothered because obviously the car is, you know, have to do something with it. But you really get why some people just sell projects halfway through, and you can't work out why people are selling them. But it's because shit like this, you know, things like this happen where you just don't have the energy or maybe the money to carry on, and you just think, I'm just going to get rid of it. So I'm not saying that, but last night I must admit I thought, Jesus, get rid of all of the cars, get rid of the garage and just live a simple life. But that's not going to happen. Anyway, I'll give you an update later. He's here we should be here now really, but he'll be here soon, and see what we come up with. Okay, just a quick update. Very, very frustrating day today. The painter came over and I showed him all of the issues with the paint, and what we're doing is now we're rubbing down with the wire wheel. I say we, me. I'm rubbing all of the areas where it's reacted to the sealant, taking that down to bare metal again. And so taking it, basically what we put on, in many cases away, and he's going to come back with another type of seam sealant. So I've done all the way along there. I've done areas all the way along there as well. Here, all the way along here. He says leave these wheel arches because he says they're fine. And then quite a lot of work all the way around here. All these seals were just coming off, pulling off. You could pull them off like tape. All the way under here, so there's loads of work. And I'm stopping for today. I can't be bothered. I've done quite a lot of work today, and I'm just going to go home. So it's Saturday today, and we're meeting again on Monday. He's going to bring his wire brush and drill, and we're just going to finish it off, and then hopefully seam sealant on Tuesday, paint on stone chip on Wednesday as well. Oh, Monday, and then all the seam sealant. Sorry, I keep messing up. Monday evening rubbing down and seam sealant, and hopefully stone chip. Tuesday evening paint. So let's see what happens. It's a shame because otherwise the stone chip was really making it look smart underneath, look really good. But we're having to go back and redo all of the seams that we did with that black sealant. Ideally all of that sealant would be off, I guess, but some of it's really hardened on there. So he'll be able to tell me whether the new seam sealant that he's bringing can go on top of that, or whether they have to take that off as well. But okay, morning guys. So back up at the garage today, working on the 911. I've got the painter coming today, so as you know, it's been like this for a week. I've got everything covered. We had some issues last weekend where the stone chip wasn't bonding to the seam sealant, which is a complete pain in the arse because I spent the Saturday afternoon then just taking everything off that we'd already put on. So it's like one step forward, two steps back at the moment. But the guys, as I say, he's coming today, looking at using a different seam sealant, and hopefully today, seam sealant, stone chip, paint. So hopefully, fingers crossed, if nothing else goes wrong, we'll get the underside done today. But let's see how we get on. We've got to push the Land Rover out, or drive it out, and see what remains of the old sealant that I need to still remove. So let's see how we get on. I'll give you an update later on. It's not really worth trying to update sort of during the work because I don't think he likes being filmed, and there's just no time. So I'll give you an update more towards midday. Okay guys, so it's never plain sailing. So the issue that we have now, you can see we started to scrape it off again. When we started to apply the brushable seam sealant over the initial seam sealant that the guy put on, it all started to crinkle up and pull away. Look, you can see it there. That there is exactly what happened. So it's totally devastating because there's so much work. But also, which means the decision we've made is obviously the black seam sealant was completely the wrong thing to use. Which is all of that stuff there, and it all has to go. So basically we did a test run of cleaning all of the black off on a seal, just put some primer on and then the sealer, and it's absolutely fine. So had we used the original sealer, sorry, this stuff here, wait a minute, this is the stuff that I actually bought initially, that would have been fine. But I was advised not to use that and to use something else, i.e. this black stuff, and it's just gone wrong. So we've got it everywhere. I've used it on every seam on the underside of the car, and it's all got to come off. So the question is, how are we going to get it off? Because I don't want to use the wire wheel again to do it because it's so much bloody work. The guy has just gone back to get some paint remover just to see if that works, but I think in reality the only way to do it, and this is what I should have done at the very start of the project, is get a mobile sandblaster, either a hire one or get somebody who can do it, and they'll do the entire underside of the car, and we'll just go back to square one, which is incredibly frustrating, as you can imagine, because it's taken months and months and months of not necessarily of work, but of waiting for this guy to have time to help me. That, as you can imagine, is really frustrating, and it's put the project way back. And yeah, I don't know if I'm the only one. I'm sure other people have been here before, but it's just insane, you know. But I tell you what, really, if I get this, a sandblaster on this, then I'm sure I'll get all of the nooks and crannies cleaned up and rust free, because I reckon with the work that I put into this, I probably got 95% of the rust spots, but doing a sandblaster will obviously get 100 of them. So maybe that was the reason why, if I'm looking for a reason as to why it's gone so wrong, maybe that will help me. So yeah, I'm trying not to be too downhearted, because what's the point? We are where we are. But I tell you, it's very frustrating, because obviously taking so much time off on the weekends and you know, from the family, you know, got family at home, and having such a setback in the project it's just tough, and it's something that we've just realised in the last hour or so. So yeah, no, I don't know really what to say other than what I've just said. So yeah, watch this space. I'll see what the next step is.